Did Tony tell you that I had to get makeup this weekend?
Mm-mm.
Oh, good. The good guy. He's a good guy.
Guys, we are.
Well,
It looks like we're live.
Oh, I was working down there on my house. Me and Sonny went down there and worked on it.
Yeah.
I busted my nose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I scratched it real bad.
Yeah.
And my,
So you had to cover it up on TV.
Everybody.
yeah.
We live.
All right. So I was telling Mike that I went to work on a house and did some awesome work on it, yard work and stuff. But I scratched my face up a little bit and had to wear some makeup this weekend. Nobody could tell. Anyways, we're live for the Ask Junior portion of the podcast. And this is a great podcast this weekend. I mean, all the podcasts are a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun guests, but we got Jimmy Johnson, Richard Childress, and Richard Petty all on the same podcast. And there's a reason for that, and you guys are going to find out why tomorrow, right? They're going to find out why tomorrow.
We'll leak it to them tonight on the podcast.
Tonight. You're going to find out tonight.
Boom.
All right, so you'll see it tomorrow.
Yes.
There. You'll see it tomorrow, but you'll find out what you're going to see tonight. And that's a terrible tease. I'm very sorry for that.
We're taking care of all of the sensories. You're gonna hear about it tonight. You'll see it
Like you
tomorrow.
don't
You'll
see
smell
Mike,
it on
but you hear
Thursday.
him.
Now, don't forget that the Ask Junior portion of the show is brought to you by Xfinity. I'm a customer, and very happy customer. Very stable internet. I can't say so much for some of the other internets that I have. So during all the weather that we've been having, most recently, my Xfinity has been durable, and they're a great partner for NASCAR, the premier partner for NASCAR. So we appreciate them for supporting our podcast. We thank all you guys for tuning in to this segment and supporting our show. So let's get started. Leah's going to bring in the questions. You guys, I'm sure, have had some great ones over the last several weeks. So let's get started.
Yep, first question coming from James Daly. After watching this weekend's races, should NASCAR put the Daytona road course in the rotation or just use it for special events and rescheduling purposes? That's
a tough one. I kind of went back and read in a rare case. I don't do this all the time, but I went back and looked at reaction to the race. There was a lot of reaction to the race itself. There was a lot of reaction to the broadcast. And I kind of went in different places, not just one social media group. I went to different, because each social media platform sort of has a different vibe to it. And, I think a lot of people that were there in person thought it was a great event and really enjoyed watching it. From what I could tell, the people that sat in the stands enjoyed the show. There was a lot of frustration over the broadcast, particularly us cutting off at the end because we ran late on our the lightning delay. We ran into evening news, and there was already hockey going on NBCSN. So that was really unfortunate and upset a lot of people. So it's hard for me to really understand. I think seeing the event in person was good, but I don't know that we were able to give it its due on the broadcast. Doing these broadcasts from Charlotte have been really difficult. We don't have as many staff. When we're all at the racetrack, I can look out the window and I can see everything that's happening on the racetrack, and I can see a battle before it even develops. I know if a guy's faster, even though he's a straightaway behind, I'll kind of keep my eye on that and go, all right, well, that's going to be a battle in a minute, and I'm going to take us there when it happens before, so we can watch it. We don't have that ability anymore, and I'm basically, we're basically calling the race that you see on your screen. We're just calling that action. We just don't have the opportunity to take us to different places. So I don't know that we were able to really give that event its due, be able to really nail it like we typically do. 3.5 mile road course. There's a lot going on around that racetrack. It's probably one of the most difficult, challenging broadcasts that I've ever been a part of. So, honestly, some people felt like, well, the cars got spread out. There was at times, the leader had a big lead, or the top three would be separated by quite a lot, and we saw that as well in the Xfinity race. As soon as the Xfinity race started, I think after 4 or 5 laps, everybody was pretty spread out, and that was actually looked like a lot of fun, because you can really just go out there and try to put together great laps and not get defenders knocked off in every corner like at a road course like Sonoma or somewhere where you're constantly, sort of battling and around other cars. You don't really get spread out that much at those tighter road courses, but at these bigger tracks, they do get spread out, and if you understand that going in, I think you expect that, then you're not going to be as disappointed when you see those big gaps between the leader or second or third or fourth. So that didn't bother me as much, because I expected that. I'd been to the 24-hour race there before, and man, when they drop the green, those guys, they get spread out. Not only do you have cars in different classes, but everybody sort of is on their own pace, running their own race to get to the end of a 24-hour event. And so the track lends itself to a little bit of that. And the inexperience of the drivers also lended to that as well. So I'd watch it again. Would I take away, I guess the answer is, would you take away one of the plate races there? Absolutely not. I would not take away one of the I wouldn't take away the Firecracker 400 in July and replace it with this road course race. Never. Well, they moved the schedule around, but the final race of the regular season is this Daytona, plate race that we're all anticipating, because it's going to be the last opportunity for somebody to sort of win a race to lock themselves into the playoffs. I'm not losing that for a road course race at Daytona, and I don't think we're going to end up going to Daytona 3 times to allow us to have an additional road course race there in the future. I just don't see us going to that. If we can get back to running the schedule as we want and going to Watkins Glen and all the places, this one's going to have to probably drop off. And now I'm a little nervous. If I'm going long on this, and I'm sorry, but I'm a little nervous about the Clash. They're going to run the Clash on the road course. They've done everything but what I've told them to with this Clash. They changed the platform around and how you get in and how you can't get in, and now they've taken it from the oval to the road course, and we just saw what the road course is going to be like. Now imagine half the field out there. I'm not that excited about it. I just am not. That Clash, I'm telling you, there needs to be 20 laps, pole sitters only. Whether it's 7 cars, 12 cars, I don't care. You earn your way in by getting a pole. Obviously, there are no pole sitters this year, but I'm nervous about the Clash catching more hell for not being a great race going to this road course, because the road course
supposed to excite you. Right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a short sprint battle from lap 1 to 20, in my view, and I don't know that we're going to get all that. So, the IROC guys, I had forgotten about this. They ran on the road course once. Remember?
IROC ran on road course?
Yes.
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr. raced in it. It was 04, 06. They didn't go back. Must not been that great. Having, 12 IROC cars out there, right? So anyways, let's get to the next question. I'm beating a dead horse.
Next question coming from Higgy. When are you hopping back on the iRacing stream? I haven't seen you on Twitch in a while.
I haven't been on Twitch for a long time. It just I really enjoyed doing that, and I still have my stuff rigged, everything set up and ready to just mash the button and I'm ready to go. I haven't gave up on streaming, but with we're only less than 2 months away from our due date for our second child, so I've been trying to, I just feel like, Amy works all day long taking care of Isla, being pregnant and uncomfortable, and I get to go do a podcast, and I get to go to the broadcast booth on the weekends and have fun with my buddies, and I get to run around doing those things while she has an obligation, right, to carry that child and watch Isla, and she doesn't get to do what she wants. So I feel pretty bad to be able to come home and jump on the Twitch and start streaming me playing iRacing. I feel pretty bad about doing that. So I haven't. And there's been a lot going on in the world. There's been a lot going on in all our lives, and it's just been not been opportune for me. But I have it all. I miss it, and it was fun because I really enjoyed the conversation. Following the chat and just bebopping along and running a few races and laughing and carrying on about what was happening out there on the simulation. But certainly, I check in. I've been getting on iRacing at least once or twice a week, and maybe running a few practices and some races and stuff. And Nashville, the fairgrounds is right around the corner for release. Cannot wait for that. They got a lot of great things in store too. So, yeah, I can't. I don't know when I'll be back on Twitch. Because when the baby's here and all that, I just don't know when that's going to happen. It might be a while, but I'm not. I haven't closed the door on it.
Our next question is from Daniel Sharkbait, and it's about our podcast last week. He wants you to explain the difference between a charter owner, race team owner. There was some confusion on his end on that. So is it the same thing, or what's the difference?
Between who?
A charter and just a race team owner.
So, yeah, if you're a charter, you're locked in to the race. If you're not a charter, so charters basically, years ago, they used to have they used to say the top 30 in points were locked in, or some number,
Yep.
And then the rest of the field was you had to qualify in on your time. And then they had provisionals for points, like one or two provisionals. Then they had a champions provisional. And so I think when the charter came, they decided, okay, the charter was going to basically protect all the teams and make sure that they made every race. So if you're a charter team, you're guaranteed a spot no matter how bad you qualify, how slow you are on the track, you're going to be in the field. And then their remaining positions are up for grabs among any teams that want to show up and try to qualify for the race. And so, without qualifying, it's obviously all happening a little differently this year. But and there's there's not 80 cars showing up. There's not 60 cars showing up trying to make the race like we might have had, at points in the history of the sport. But that's the difference. There's a lot of other things that a charter team enjoys. But I think that's the number one thing is with a charter, you're protected, somewhat part of the in crowd. If you're not a charter team, you got to earn everything you get.
Next question coming from Joshua Seda. What was your first live concert, and who do you still want to see live that maybe you haven't seen yet?
My first live concert was Moody Blues in Chicago, both playing at Charlotte Amphitheater. I don't even know what it's called now, Verizon, or I don't even know what it's called. Domino's, who knows? But I went with my sister and her boyfriend. It was Charlotte race weekend because I remember we were staying in a camper outside the condos. Dad and Teresa were staying up in the condo, and there was a camper, like a fifth wheel or something, down in the parking lot, and me and Kelly and her boyfriend were staying in that. And one night we went to the amphitheater and watched Chicago Moody Blues, and I was just kind of going because I had nothing better to do and definitely didn't want to sit around in that toter home and hang out, and ended up going. And when I heard Moody Blues opened up and when I heard them play Nights in White Satin, I was like, that's the greatest song I think I've ever heard. And it sounded as good there as it did when I played it back on my, on the radio. Their concert was amazing. Chicago, obviously, I recognized all the songs. Now I was 15 at the time, so I wasn't a huge fan of either of these bands, but I knew who they were. It was an amazing concert. Who would I like to see? I almost went to see Nirvana play in Atlanta at the Omni. I was going to school at Mitchell Community College Automotive Technical School, standing there with a buddy of mine. We had talked about going. And that morning, we get to school. I'm pumped. I mean, this is crazy for me, out of character. I'm going to drive to Atlanta with a friend of mine. We're going to figure out how to get tickets, and we're going to see Nirvana. And he backed out. We get to school that morning. He's like, man, I ain't going. I don't want to go. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so we didn't go. I was so mad. I'll never forget that. But I love going to concerts. And, Dangerous Summer is some guys that I've become a big fan of over the last 6 years or so. And anytime they're in town, I try to catch one of their concerts. Yeah. There's a long list of bands that I'd like to go see.
All right, that's all we have time for today, guys.
Well,
I know.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys supporting our show. You support our show by, logging in and asking questions and listening to us and listening to the podcast, supporting us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and all our social media channels. So we appreciate that. We thank Xfinity for supporting the Ask Junior portion of this show. They're your premier partner of NASCAR, and I'm a customer, and I tell you that because I want you to know that I pay for the service and I enjoy it, and so I can vouch for the quality and all those things. So that's why I continue to tell you that. So anyways, have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Some good questions, and hopefully we're all going to concerts real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.